Watching Sky News. It's Sunday the 29th of August. Our top story today. The Pakistan cricket team is facing claims that middlemen have taken money to dictate how balls are delivered by some bowlers. The News of the World says it filmed a reporter handing over £150,000 to a man who promised there would be no balls during specific overs. The paper alleges the wrong deliveries happened as described. The story features in today's edition of the paper. Undercover filming of middleman Majid apparently shows him making very specific promises about what would happen in return for the payment.
These three are definitely happening. Yeah? They're all being organised. Okay. So the first ball of the third over of the innings. Yeah.
Okay. First ball of the third over.
That is going to be Aamer. Aamer's going to be bowled the first over. Yeah.
So the first ball
of the third over.
Of the third over. Is there any signal?
No signal. It will just happen.
It's no ball. Okay.
Then the 10th, the last ball, 6th ball of the 10th over.
Last ball of
the 10th over.
10th over.
Sky's Tom Parmenter has the latest from the News of the World office in Wapping.
Potentially this is very damaging for the game of cricket. The allegations centre on a 35-year-old man who has been arrested at his home in Surrey. 35-year-old Mazhar Majid, someone who the News of the World claim is very close to some of the Pakistani cricketers. They have filmed this man allegedly accepting £150,000 in cash in a London hotel on the eve of this current test match. So that was on Wednesday of last week. And it's alleged that he passed on information to the News of the World investigations team in which he pinpointed specific balls that would be bowled the following day that would be no balls, that then the investigators who were posing as businessmen interested in betting could go away, place large bets on those specific balls being no balls, and then make an awful lot of money. The allegations are there in the newspaper. They are very serious, and all cricket fans will question just what is going on here, what has been filmed and what it means for the game. The police are now talking to this 35-year-old man. We understand Scotland Yard have also got officers talking to members of the Pakistani cricket team who are overnighting in a hotel in London. And all this as the test match is due to resume to try and get back underway amid what is quite an unprecedented set of accusations that the Pakistani team are now facing.
Well, earlier Tom asked the News of the World's managing editor what led them to this man.
Earlier this month we received very compelling evidence that an individual, Majid, was involved in fixing matches. We set out to infiltrate his network, and that investigation was led by our investigations editor Mazhar Mahmood, and he was successful in persuading Majid to accept him into his network and to give us information that would prove that he could indeed rig matches.
When you say rig matches, we're talking about a specific thing within the match, not necessarily the results of the match, aren't we?
No, he made several boasts and claims about matches that he had in fact rigged the entire match, entire games that had results that had been rigged in advance.
The evidence that you're presenting here is about specific allegations about no balls being bowled at certain points.
That's right. This was a kind of proof of concept, if you like, that he was able to do this, and that we would pay £150,000 in order to get access to that kind of information that he would give us in advance, and that in fact is exactly what he did.
So this exchange of money took place on Wednesday evening, the eve before this big test match at Lord's. Explain to us the circumstances of how that happened and how you filmed this man with all this money in front of him.
Well, we met him in a hotel room. He'd asked for this sum of money. In fact, we'd given him £10,000 as an advance payment earlier in the investigation. Subsequently, he asked for another £140,000, which we then provided in used £50 notes. As a result of that, he then provided information which had been pre-organised, which was information about specific activities that would take place during the test over the next day or so.
Well, Sky's Chris Cudder can explain more about the technicalities on the cricket field.
Yeah, Mohammad Aamer 18 years old, very young player, very promising young player who became the first player to score, youngest player to take 5 wickets in a Test match in England. And this is him in action. This the first ball of the 3rd over, as had been predicted by the middleman you just saw there. Umpire Billy Bowden saying that was a no ball. As you can see, if the heel has got to be behind the crease line there, so he's a foot over. That was bowling to Alistair Cook, and then we saw it again on the Friday, bowling to Jonathan Trott, same player, Mohammad Aamer, who's thought to be one of the great prospects in the world game. And again, as predicted, he was a foot or so over the crease there, so picked up by the umpire correctly. And of course, the investigation's going on at the moment, as we heard. The police have been involved, but the ICC, the International Cricket Council, do have their own anti-corruption unit. That's what they're there for, to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't go on. The kind of things they do, they don't allow people into dressing rooms during Test matches. The players are not allowed to have mobile phones, that kind of thing, just to stop any kind of interference. But I mean, it's not the first time it's happened with